Good Monday morning to you all. We got some big news out there, some that may really shake you a little bit. So we got this Watchmen update. I hope you're hanging on here. We got the FBI now investigating if groups, not just individuals, had prior knowledge of the attack on Charlie Kirk. Apparently this is looking like it may be more organized than just one person going off the hand. Possibly a coordinated network rather than a lone wolf. That's big news out there. We got the Federal Reserve about to make a big move this week. Highly expected to raise interest rates, cut interest rates actually, sorry. We got more drone incursions in Eastern Europe. It's having NATO on edge. Poland is saying perhaps their air defense systems are being probed by Russia. We got invasion of Chinese bugs we need to talk about. The United States boarding a ship in the Caribbean has Venezuela super upset. And Poland out there providing free military training to its citizens. The world is getting strange indeed. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade. And these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. We're covering store shelves. We're trying to keep you guys ahead of food shortages and keep you up to date with the news. If you have something to share, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. That does get it to the right place. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They are giving out a free copy of the book, Gold and the Bible. This reviews kind of what the Bible says about honesty in currency, honesty in transactions, and the place that gold has historically held is a store of value. It still is that today and gaining so for sure. If you'd like your free copy of the book, check out the pinned comment down below. There'll also be a link at the end of the video if you want to find out what you can do with your retirement account to secure that a little more and to invest in gold, silver, or platinum. They'll be able to talk to you about that as well. All right, Romania and Poland have scrambled aircraft as drones continue to strike Ukraine. Some of these drones apparently crossing over not only into Polish airspace, but Romania became the latest NATO member state to report a drone incursion into its airspace. This happened on Saturday. And also confirmed that it intercepted and tracked the drone as Poland is also scrambling aircraft on Saturday in response to fresh drone strikes just over the border in Ukraine. Poland is claiming that these are not accidental, that these drones are crossing over into the Polish airspace. It's kind of like, oh yeah, we're just attacking Ukraine. It just happened to wander over into your airspace, and we're not really targeting you. But Poland is saying Russia is intentionally probing its air defense systems, trying to find gaps in its radar coverage and trying to gauge responses in case Russia were to launch a larger strike on Polish military positions. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what Poland is saying. And of course, that has a lot of people in Europe on edge. More than 20,000 Poles have turned up for a volunteer military training. No, this is not the beginning of a joke. This is what's happening. 20,000 Poles have showed up for voluntary military training. Not to get paid, not to be part of the military, but to get military training and then just kind of go back home. That number is expected to hit 40,000 by the end of the year. The nation has strict gun control, so they don't trust their citizens with guns, but apparently they're giving out random military training to random people. I'm not really sure how that works, but crazy countries. Anyway, U.S. forces attached to the USS Jason Dunham and Arleigh Burke class guided missile destroyer. I wish we could shorten that. We really need to shorten that. They apparently boarded a Venezuelan fishing boat several hours inside the Venezuelan exclusive economic zone in the South Caribbean. Now, just a reminder, territorial waters of a country is 12 nautical miles. And the exclusive economic zone extends to about 200 nautical miles. So it was not exactly in Venezuelan territory, but it was close enough that Venezuela is super upset about it, understandably. And then, of course, the United States going into a fishing vessel and just basically boarding it unilaterally just because. The White House has requested $58 million to increase security for executive and judicial branches to protect against civil terrorism. You can see where this one's going. The White House confirmed that the extra funds would be directed to the U.S. Marshal Service and would include enhanced protection for Supreme Court justices. Apparently, there's a lot of chatter online about who should be next. These leftist psychopaths are seriously discussing who should be next. And a bunch of them are talking about Supreme Court justices, which is why the White House is ramping up security to protect the Supreme Court justices from wackos. The FBI disclosed, as per Axios, that agents have opened investigations into leftist groups believed to have had prior knowledge of the attack on Charlie Kirk. No names were released on what organizations, but the admission marks a significant concern among investigators that Charlie Kirk's assassination may have been an organized conspiracy. GPS-based research flagged by analyst Tony Saruga suggests he's on Twitter, and I'm not sure where else he is, but apparently he buys up the cell phone data on the GPS data on cell phones that are used elsewhere, and he was instrumental in kind of showing basically that the Kamala campaign was just bussing the same people around from place to place for all their rallies. And he suggesting basically the GPS data from the moment of the attack, watching the cell phones traveling around, suggesting as many as a dozen co-conspirators may have been involved. May have been a coordinated attack as opposed to a lone wolf incident. So that is super concerning. If that's the case, they may very well be looking to attack another target before the day is out, or before this week is out. Who knows? Australia has decided to spend approximately $8 billion, $8 billion US dollars, there it is, on a nuclear sub shipyard facility. They're going to start building their own nuclear powered subs. Australia has been trying to buy nuclear powered subs from other people, and that hasn't been going so well. They tried buying from the French, they tried buying from the US. It just seems like nobody can really produce them in a timely and affordable fashion. So Australia has decided that they're just going to build their own. We'll see how that goes. Because, nuclear-powered submarines are very simple devices. We won't talk about how some other countries have tried to do that same thing and it didn't go so well. France. Anyway, the United States Federal Reserve is poised to have its first rate cut in 2025 as political tension mounts. This is due to President Trump trying to fire the mortgage fraudster Lisa Cook, and courts out there saying you can't fire a governor of the Federal Reserve. So Lisa Cook, who lied on her mortgage applications for monetary gain, will be voting this week on whether or not to cut interest rates. Just guess how she's going to vote. Just guess. Anyway, it looks like they're still going to cut interest rates this week, but maybe not by as much as the market is hoping. Aurelio says, I went to my local Walmart here in St. Petersburg, Florida. 0 canned carrots, 0 canned string beans, 0 large bags of rice. So Walmart. Although these are the cheaper Walmart brands, you can still find the more expensive brand names, but even those are starting to thin out. We're having issues with carrots out there, and apparently we're having issues with canned carrots now. A lot of people are having very bad harvest of carrots, particularly. Raven says, I went to Costco yesterday here in Minnesota. No in-house ground coffee. Oh, sorry, not ground. In-house grind ground beef. I guess that's what it is, but they have a sign saying, sorry for the inconvenience, no ground beef there, fresh ground in-house, right? They have organic Brics of ground beef and Wagyu Brics, but not the in-house stuff. Kirkland K-Cups went from $36.99 up to $41.99. Coffee prices continue to spike out there. Some other products I noticed went up by $1 or more. Also went to Whole Foods. All their ground beef went up as well. We've been warning you about the ground beef and just beef in general. Price is going to be going up a lot, and we're seeing that out there for sure. Bunk Smith says, I have 12 bird feeders. Last year they would empty, and I was filling them once a week. I filled them 2 weeks ago, and they are still 3/4 full. Definitely less birds now. Terry says, I am in North County, San Diego. My apartment complex uses third-party billing company to bill the water, sewage, and trash. My bill collectively within almost a 34-month period went from $31 on average to $148 on average. So going up almost 5 times the rate. I called the city, who told me to call the manager's office. I did, no answer there. I called the city again and started doing a ton of research in general. In California, what and or how much the owner pays is billed for water is private information. So even though they're renting out and trying to put people's names on stuff, you cannot know, and he cannot charge. He cannot know, and he can charge whatever he wishes. I was told by the city if I don't like it, I can move. Isn't that helpful? Also, I had to call the Target Corporation because the Good and Gather beans are missing. Again, the employee at Target told me that they had multiple complaints, so the manager reached out to corporate, and even he couldn't get an answer. So I contacted them again 2 days later. Still have heard nothing back. Since last year, Target has had a problem stocking rice and beans. Go figure why. Go figure why. Jill says, I bought a box of strawberry milkshake cornflakes at Walmart here in northeast Wisconsin yesterday. I know it's not good for you, but I broke down. I went to open it and noticed the date. It said October 2025. That's not too bad. When I pulled the bag out, the box to open the plastic bag, it was already cut down the side. I guess I wasn't meant to eat it. Just hearing a lot of reports like that. Just packaging damaged. A lot of just stuff that didn't used to happen before. You used to just take that right back to the store and they were like, wow, this is weird. Now it's like, oh, it happened again. Quality is going downhill fast. Images in Bloom says, Cleveland, Ohio, we were invaded with Chinese lantern bugs that devastated 30 tomato plants, damaged raspberries, killed our potatoes. Cutting to the chase, my garden was a massive fail this year. A lot of people are saying the same kind of thing. Terry in Michigan says, our local Dollar General store is out of everything. No milk, no cheese, no butter, no ice cream, no lunch meat or hot dogs, and the list goes on, but very little bread, canned goods, very low, but the candy was stocked to the brim. Yeah. Why is it always that the candy seems to be well stocked? Umbra Shadow Gaming says, Wells Fargo just informed me that starting in October 2025, if I don't have at least $500 electronically deposited in my account every month, I would be charged a $15 fee. Typically, that's not a problem, but I'm currently in school and my job uses me as a sub driver, and that hasn't picked up yet. So bank accounts, you're just going to have fees, even if you're not getting enough money deposited into them. Jeff says, I'm realizing that we have a tricolor used car dealer in our city of Las Cruces, New Mexico. I interacted with them while they were completely renovating a local business, and the contractor's frustration was he kept not getting paid by the owner in Dallas. We had the tricolor auto loan company went bankrupt just this past week. So there's Tricolor Holdings. So I don't know if they're related. Red Jasmine Love says, I live in Maine in the country where the whole town, the whole county is very conservative. I wish the whole country was very conservative. I took my grandson to a lovely new beach my daughter had discovered. There was only one other person there beside us. There was a changing room outhouse with a sign which I read and saw it was all about social distancing. Yes, friends, it's coming back. I was wondering if it was a past sign or a current sign. It looked brand new though. Secondly, a channel member talked about the ants being vicious this year. Talking about, they're getting ready for a very difficult winter possibly. Reminded me to let you know here in Maine, the wooded state, I saw very few honeybees, virtually none. But then late August, out come all these different breeds I had never seen before. They are busy and they are mad. They follow you around for 20 minutes. They are persistent and hungry. I have seen them eat meat from butcher scraps. I have never seen anything like this. It used to be if you leave them alone, they will leave you alone. Not anymore. They pursue you and anything that smells good. They are not big enough to be murder hornets. It's not just one type, but 4 to 5 different bees, different kinds. I never saw that before, they say. Vicky says the love bugs are back with a vengeance in Lake City, Florida. I had to wash my car after one drive to church and back. Still sounds like we're light on bugs in most of the country, though. Heather Prepping says, has anyone else gotten email from the UIA? During COVID, I participated in getting unemployment for 4 months when I couldn't work. Now I'm receiving an email saying I have to pay it all back. I'm a single mom and didn't take advantage of the system like so many people did. I just got unemployment when I wasn't able to work. I don't have money to pay this back. Make sure that it's actually from them and it's not a scammer. There are scammers out there still trying to get people to fall for stuff like that. So verify that before you even worry yourself, right? Barbara says, Western North Carolina, local Dollar Tree recently received a large order of frozen foods. The boxes were stacked high in front of the freezers and were dripping liquids into large pools all around the area. I mentioned it to the cashier who said that she was the only employee in the store and did not have time to stock the freezer. I'm not blaming the employees, but obviously I'm not buying any perishable foods from them. You can't keep stuff out like that. That's just not how it works, right? Leopard Woman says, Jiffy cornbread mix is a great bait for rats and mice. Mix 50-50 with cornbread mix and baking soda and set out in pie pans for the rats and mice to eat. They cannot burp or pass gas, so they end up dying. So that's a natural way to get rid of your rats or mice. Jeanette says, I have an item. Everything I buy and comes into my house has a cheap perfume stink to it. I think it's to cover pesticides as we have an issue with the bug here. I have gotten books, the book itself and the packaging, or mail the paper stinks and the envelope. But the worst thing of all is on the bread. The bread bags, and it is like the plastic is made from shampoo bottles with shampoo still in it. It's so gross. I buy organic now because I can't have the scents or chemicals. This is California. I know it's not just the stench, which is toxic. All fragrance nowadays is toxic. Gratefully Free says, on better food handling at supermarkets. Our top line Publix supermarket recently received its gallons of milk in sealed, corrugated 4-gallon boxes that keep it cold in Florida heat and humidity. Warm and humid air heats up and exposed cold goods much faster. If you see condensation on containers, then you need to get it into a tied off plastic bag, like when you take it when you're taking it home. Aldi's sells resealable bags that work very well. We've even taken a cooler with us for our frozen ice packs when we drive further than 5 minutes to the local stores. Yeah. Definitely do what you can to keep your stuff safe. All right, friends, thanks so much for joining with us. If you want to get that free book from Genesis Gold, check out the pinned comment down below. If you do reach out to them directly, make sure you mention this channel so they do waive your setup fee if you do decide to do something with them with your retirement account. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar, The Poplar Report, out.